everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie and I'm talking about the summer book releases that I'm really excited about. I have some fun books that are releasing on this list and I can't wait to share them with you all. There's tons of other books that are releasing, but these are the ones I'm most excited about. So these are releases for July, August, and September. I want to make sure I get that right for you for this video. So I do this every single quarter, every 3 months I do this video. So I hope you enjoy it and let's check out the new releases. The first one is a clean romance book that is releasing on August 4th, and that is The Roman Holiday Rule by Andra Loy. And anything that has to do with travel or anything is going to be fantastic. So this is about Lexi Walker, and she's finally committed to the Italian adventure that she and her late mother dreamed of for years. Complete with a meticulously crafted itinerary, 4 sealed letters to open at Rome's most romantic sites, and her mother's final painting to present at the art festival Lexi is helping organize. She's ready for the perfect Roman getaway. What she doesn't expect is for her mother's artwork to start manifesting in real life, turning her carefully planned trip into something unpredictable. Interesting. So I will see what it's like, and I will absolutely read that one to share with you guys. There's a couple middle grade books that I'm excited about coming soon. The first one that's releasing in July, there's a couple in July. July 7th is Gordon Corman's new book called Sleepless. Anything Gordon Corman I will try out. I love his middle grade books. So this one is about 5 kids who are up all night every night and desperate to find out why. There's not enough time in the day. How often have Mickey, Sky, Levi, Cyrus, and Thea thought that? Well, now they have plenty of extra time because they no longer need to sleep. None of them know why this is happening to them. All they know is that they have to keep it a secret from their families and their friends. And while they keep it a secret, they can use their extra hours to become better than everyone else. Each of them thinks they're alone is their sleeplessness. But once they find each other, they know it can't be just an accident. Suddenly they're forced to address the root mystery. What's keeping them awake at night? Sounds amazing. Can't wait for that one. July 28th, The Ginghams by T.C. Kemper. Love the cover of this one. I think it screams mystery or something interesting happening. So this is an eerie middle grade mystery debut. When 12-year-old Joni Bird returns home from summer camp, it's clear something strange is afoot in Olive Springs. May, her usually headbanging best friend, now wears her hair in a tight bun and calls playing the drums unladylike. The ice cream shop only serves vanilla ice cream. The women and girls of the neighborhood all sport big pearl earrings and crisp cotton dresses. At the heart of it all, the creepy new family in the neighborhood with their soulless carnival smiles and retro fashion sense, the Ginghams. Everyone they invite to their Thursday night book club reemerges as dead-eyed, smiling, Gingham-approved model citizens, all thanks to Mr. Gingham's lifestyle guide, The Pillars of Perfection, and something even more sinister hidden behind his basement door. Doesn't that sound good? I can't wait for that. I think it's going to be really fun. I love a good, eerie, creepy middle grade. I think it's going to be really entertaining. There's one releasing in August on the 25th called The Travelers by Greg Howard. When 12-year-old Ben Turner's mom unexpectedly passes away, he's forced into the care of the only living relative he has left, a grandmother he's never met who lives in a place he's never been. Rutledge, South Carolina, is worlds from bustling Nashville. Upon arriving at his grandmother's house, Ben is dumbfounded by the large stone and brick building that greets him. Clifton House appears far more haunted mansion than house, and Ben can't get over the fact that this is where his mom grew up. Inside, Ben is surprised to see clocks of all shapes and sizes on the walls, mantels, and tables. What's even more surprising is that none of the clocks tell the correct time, and some even seem to be moving backwards. I'm just going to stop there. That sounds great, doesn't it? All right, and then the rest release in September. Building 903, and this is one of my most anticipated releases of the entire year. Building 903 releases on September 29th, and that is by Lois Lowry. She is releasing a new book. I am so excited for this. So this is probably, I'm guessing, dystopian. Twins Tessa and Theo live in a world ruled by the tyrannical Cyrus, where there are no dangers or rebels, or so they've been told. In this world, citizens live long lives, and while many hate Cyrus, they are comfortable and safe. So when Tessa's brother disappears, nobody wants to discuss it. But then Miriam, their 135-year-old neighbor, bound for the retirement community, slips Tessa a key, not only to her brother's disappearance, but to the source of all real magic, books. So it's dystopian. I can't wait. It's going to be exciting and fun. Next one is September 8th, and that is The Unusuals by Gail Carson Levine. I'm so excited because I love Gail Carson. I love her books. I can't wait for this one. It's going to be so much fun. And there is no description of this book. No description at all. I think I just found out that she's coming out with a new book and I put it on here. So there's no description. I do apologize for that. Blame Goodreads, not me. But I can't wait for that. I think it's going to be really, really fun. But there's no description, so I can't share with you. But just know there's a book by Gail Carson Levine coming out. I'm excited. So that's it for mainstream fiction. I don't really have a ton of mainstream fiction for the summer. There could be more. I didn't do a whole deep dive this summer, but there is a lot of Christian fiction that is releasing this summer, which I'm also very, very excited about. These aren't in order because they don't get quite in order on Goodreads, but I will try. A Life So True by Tracy Peterson releases on July 7th. This is the second book in the Minnesota Legacy series, and I think they follow different characters, so I'm pretty sure I can share a little bit of it without spoiling myself too. Evelyn Turner is determined to work at her physician father's side as he opens a hospital for Minneapolis's poor. But when nursing makes her physically ill, she faces an impossible choice between the promises she's made and her own limitations. Interesting. You know, that happened to me actually. I did an internship one time, side story, one day in high school. I went to a veterinary hospital and I got ill during the operation. I think it was, I don't know if it was the fumes from one of the gases or whatever, but I got physically ill and I had to leave. So yeah, so I cannot be a veterinary tech apparently because something made me ill in there. And I have no idea what it was. Fatal Finale comes out August 18th by Nancy Mel. This is book 3 in her Erin Delaney mystery series. Now I know these go in order because it's the same character and stuff, so we're following her with the mysteries. I'm not going to spoil anything about this book. Just know the third book releases soon, and I'm excited. All these stories follow a character named Erin Delaney. She's a best-selling author, and she used to be a cop, though, and something happens where she ends up having, I forgot what it's called, but it's where you're debilitated and you can't leave your home. So she had that, and she struggled to leave her home. But something draws her out of her home into a mystery at wherever her friend lives. That's the first book. So I can't wait to figure out what's going to happen next in that series. August 11th, Winter's Dawn releases by Morgan L. Bussey. This is book 3 in her Nordic War series. Now, I've never read any of that series. I have book 1 on my TBR shelf here, but have I read it? No. But I'm waiting for winter, and it will happen this winter because otherwise I will wait another winter and we will never get it read. So yeah, we have to read it this winter, otherwise it will not get read. But Winter's Dawn is releasing on August 11th. I can't wait. September 1st releases a Christmas book called We Wish You a Messy Christmas by Melody Carlson. And anything Melody Carlson, there's no book description though. That's rare for a book by Revell to not have a book description. So there's no book description for that one yet. July 21st, Bookmarked for Love by Sarah Monson. This is book 3 in Checking Out Love series. And this one's about children's librarian Martha Aldridge. And she learns about budget cuts that will not only put her out of a job, but also shut down the library's children's programs. She's determined to raise the funds needed to save both. The good news is she knows just who to ask for a large donation on the library's behalf. Julian King has been groomed to one day run his family's publishing empire, and now he must prove he's ready to take the helm by turning around the company's languishing children's imprint. That wouldn't be a problem, except he doesn't know the first thing about children's literature. But when Martha waltzes into his office, he sees an opportunity and makes her an offer she can't refuse. He'll give her the money she needs for the library in exchange for her help in acquiring a best-selling manuscript that will resurrect the dying imprint. It has to do with publishing, libraries. Might be my favorite in the series. Oh, I have some hopes for that one. A Lady's Handbook to Gadgets and Guile by Angela Bell releases on July 7th. And this is her first book in Daughters of a Genius Society. It matches the cover of her other book, though, I think. Does it? So it is part of a series. So it must be a new series, I guess. This is about Margaret Kingsley. She's an ambulatory wheelchair user. She secretly crafts gadgets for the Daughters of Genius Society, a covert team of lady inspectors disguised as harmless blue-stocking spinsters. Sounds amazing already. I love it. While her fellow inspectors gallivant about London solving crimes, Margaret has been perfectly content assisting from the sidelines until her expertise is needed to infiltrate the domain of London's most prolific inventor, Alvin T. Harrison. So I'm excited. Her books are whimsical and fun, and there's always gadgets involved. I'm very excited for that. The Light of Stars by Janelle Hovde, forgive me if I pronounce that wrong, releases on July 14th. An arranged marriage. Stop right there. I don't need to know anymore. Arranged marriage, yes please. An arranged marriage, a powerful company tainted with corruption, two souls caught between obligation and a longing to find their true calling in this Regency romance. Yes please, yes please. When Kitty Grenville's grandfather announces her engagement to Sebastian Sinclair, she's appalled. She barely remembers the boy she met once as a child. And now he's a man tied to the East India Company, the very organization that tore her and her brother from their mother and home in Hyderabad years ago. Unwilling to relinquish her dream of a love match or her passion for astronomy, Kitty is determined to refuse a marriage and find freedom in her own way. Sebastian Sinclair carries the weight of duty and regret. To atone for past sins, he complies with his grandfather's orders to return to England, fulfill a long-standing betrothal, and defend the maligned East India Company before Parliament. Though Kitty makes her disinterest clear, Sebastian is drawn to her intellect and spirit. Love it. It sounds great. Oh, I'm so excited. The Heiress and the Woodsman by Christine Hill Sunce releases on August 11th, and I love the cover. I love the cover of this one. It intrigues me. Canada 1837, Charlotte is determined to hold on to her family's crumbling estate, the last vestige of their former place in Toronto society before her mother's death and her father's financial ruin. But when her missing brother Simon is suspected of aiding a political rebellion, Charlotte heads north to find him before his impulsive decision ruins what's left of their family standing and break her ailing father's heart. I'm going to stop there. It sounds good. There's a lot more information, but I think that's all I want to know going into it. A Mismatch Made in London by Melanie Dickerson releases August 4th, and this is part of her new Regency romance series. I really enjoyed book 1, so I cannot wait for this next one. When Amelia Moore is invited to London for the social season, she hopes for a chance at love, but certainly not with Jeremy Beaumont, the season's most sought-after bachelor. Upon making the acquaintance of his sister Juliet at her first ball, Amelia becomes best friends with her. But Jeremy's protective nature leads him to question her motives and wrongly accuse Amelia of using his sister to capture his attention and fortune. Outraged at his arrogance, Amelia vows never to speak to him again, which proves a more difficult feat than she anticipated. Yes, please. Yes, please. Regency romance, Melanie Dickerson. It's going to be a great time. September 1st, 12 Days and 12th Night by Sarah Sundin releases. It is a Christmas World War II, a World War II Christmas novella, and Sarah Sundin is one of my favorite authors of all time, and this is her very first Christmas novella. I'm really intrigued about this one. It says she needs a star for her wartime Christmas show. He needs a second chance. Together they stage a production neither expected. World War II USO director Maggie Oliver faces an impossible task: stage a Christmas show in San Diego for thousands of sailors with dwindling resources and a quickly approaching deadline. To star in the show, she enlists Prescott Duke, a former Hollywood heartthrob whose career ended in flames after an accident left him scarred and adrift. He eagerly accepts Maggie's invitation and seizes the chance to reclaim what war has stolen from him. Love it. It says it's inspired by Shakespeare's Twelfth Night and the 12 Days of Christmas. Interesting. Okay. I'm excited. I think that one's going to be really, really good. The last book I have to share with you is Fatal Pattern by Kate Angelo, releases on September 15th. And there is, again, no description, but it is book 2, I believe. Yes, book 2 in the King Legacy series, and book 1 I really enjoyed. Book 1 was Girl Lost, and that was a lot of fun. So I can't wait to see what this one comes up with, and if it's as intense or more intense as the first book. And the cover, say less. It looks like a painting. I love it. It's going to be so much fun. All right, so those are all the new releases. I'm excited for the summer. Summer usually has a little bit less as far as releases go. Most new releases, for me personally, release in usually spring and fall are my 2 favorite seasons for releases, but there's some pretty good ones coming out this summer. Let me know what you're excited about. If you know of any books that I haven't mentioned, please leave them in the comments, and I would love to know what's releasing soon. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.